On the edge of the North York moors lies the picturesque town of Kirby Moorside, home to auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
150 it is, good quality stuff, Yorkshire stuff, that's what we like.
With the help of his team and his family,
Goodness, can't even lift it.
Angus has been running his auction house for more than a decade. When he's not on his rostrum, he's clearing cluttered homes.
Goodness, has all this come out of that cupboard?
Finding unwanted items to go under his gavel.
Love this. It's funky, isn't it?
It is absolutely ghastly.
It's little things like that that just make my job enjoyable.
Using his expert knowledge, he uncovers hidden gems.
This is really nice.
There's a bit of Yorkshire wherever you go in the world. Yorkshire!
And discovers valuable heirlooms.
Bit dusty, not the best day to wear a white shirt maybe.
Back at the sale room, he turns these forgotten treasures
£2,200.
into incredible windfalls of cash. Angus and his team at Kirby Moorside tackle over 200 house clearances in a year.
Hello, Auction House, how can I help? Of course we can get that done for you. Where are you based?
And with an auction on every fortnight, the team are under constant pressure to get the items in and ready for sale.
House clearances are a big part of our business, and although we're based in Yorkshire, we travel the length and breadth of the country for them.
Andy and Pete are Angus's house clearance team, and today's job could be right up Andy's street.
No, here he comes.
Here he is.
Well, we've got a job to do, but it's in Wallsend near Newcastle.
Really?
That's your neck of the woods, isn't it?
I'm going yem.
Wait.
Well, I don't think you'll get too much sightseeing because it's a big job, big house clearance. There's going to be a couple of vans full, I would have thought.
Well, he said there's no time for sightseeing.
Let's get on then.
Aye, aye. Wait, aye. Any bag of chula?
With both vans needed for this job, the team are heading to Wallsend, 5 miles east of Newcastle.
It's the champagne capital of Britain, is Newcastle. More champagne's consumed in Newcastle than anywhere else.
Strawberries after and all sorts.
In Wallsend, Pippa and her daughter Rebecca need help clearing Pippa's parents' home.
Should be an interesting job. The house looks quite interesting, the photos I've seen. Yeah, there's loads of books and there's a piano, I'm afraid.
A piano. Another one.
I mean, you guys eat pianos for breakfast.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we have to do. You keep giving us them.
Hiya.
Hi, you all right?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome to Priory House, my father's home.
Having inherited the house after her father's death, Pippa needs to empty the enormous place of furniture, knickknacks and hundreds of books before she can list it for sale. But she's finding it difficult to make time.
Wow, you weren't joking about the books, were you?
No, definitely not. The only rooms in this house that don't have books in are the bathrooms and the toilets.
There are some interesting, nice, early leather-bound ones that, you know, look like they'll actually be quite interesting. So I think there'll be 1 or 2 books in there that are of interest.
It was mainly my father who collected the books, but there are a lot of Shakespeare and classical English. That was my mum's interest. Mum and Dad met at Wallsend Grammar School when they were both young teachers on the staff. And at that time there were 2 separate staff rooms joined by a balcony. The men's staff room was at one end and the ladies at the other. Now, with my father's love of history, and my mum, not only did she teach English, she taught Latin. I can only assume that they got together because he was asking her help. My dad passed away just after New Year, 2020. And I remember him saying, well, I can at least say that I've lived from the 20s to the 20s.
There's a calendar in the other room, and it hasn't been touched since the day he died. So we don't really want to be changing the date, to be honest. It's significant and it represents, you know, the last day of his life. So
I just feel that it's time to get everything cleared out, sorted out, and then I can move forward.
I've noticed you've got a number of pictures by Rogers. Is that a relation?
Charles Henry Rogers is my uncle.
Right, so that explains why you've got so many pictures.
Yes.
I think there's about 15 around the house.
That's quite interesting. And he, you know, he has got a bit of a following. Oh, we've got a piano. There's been many a song and a tune played on there?
There probably was. I used to play it as a child, but I was never very good at it. It's a Bechstein, and it dates from 1895.
Wonderful.
I had it valued by a piano company, and basically they said, give it away or do it up and, you know, sell it for 100 quid.
Well, the one saving grace is it's a Bechstein.
Yes.
So although pianos don't sell, there's a couple of names that do sell, Bechstein and Steinway.
Yes.
So we're absolutely fine.
While some of the things are close to Pippa's heart, there are others that she is happy to bid farewell to.
Love this. It's funky, isn't it?
It is absolutely ghastly. It's the stuff of nightmares, and as a child, absolutely terrified by it.
1965 by Gillian.
That sounds about right.
God, it's a heavy thing, isn't it? What, do you know what? It's quirky, and people like quirky.
Yeah.
You know, it's something somebody's made as opposed to, you know, a rare potter or something.
Yes.
But, you know, I still think it's a great thing. I think it'll get people talking on auction day, certainly. Is this something they picked up on their travels?
Yes, it came from Santander, and I think that the carving is of a bull in the caves at Rocamadour.
I mean, this is very typical of a Spanish-type bull.
Yes.
It's quite a sweet little thing, isn't it?
Usually somewhere that we dump our handbags when we come in.
Well, everybody needs a handbag stand.
Exactly.
Well, I best get the lads in because there's quite a lot to do, and we'll get cracking.
With 4 bedrooms, 2 reception rooms, lounge and kitchen all packed to the brim, the team must move fast. One of the biggest challenges for Andy and Pete is to tackle the huge quantities of books.
Right, do you know how many books I've actually read in my whole life?
Right, and then about 2, do you reckon?
How do you get that one?
Educated guess.
Yeah. I've read 2 books in my whole life, and I skipped the last chapter on one of them because the book had finished as far as I was concerned.
We need to do a bit of research on some of the books. There's some good early books, and there's a number of Folio Society books, which is a series of books of famous books, and they sell really well. There's 1 or 2 of those that can do big money.
While the furniture gets packed away, Angus must find items that will attract buyers to the auction. Items that don't make the cut are donated, recycled, or as a final resort, sent to the skip.
You might think, Pete, that these are Fabergé eggs. If they were,
I know.
you could have a pay rise.
Oh, cheers.
But they're obviously just modern. You know where Fabergé's from?
Go on. I know I should know this, shouldn't
Well, you
I?
should know,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's France, isn't it? Somewhere up there. Down.
Russia, Pete. It can be quite overwhelming for people. So, you know, it's easier for somebody to come in that doesn't have those emotional attachments. Obviously, you treat it with respect, but that can come in and do the job, and we can do it in a day, as opposed to, you know, a family member. It could take them weeks because everything's got, you know, a story behind it.
Is it silver?
So looks like it. Yep. London, 1882. There you go.
That's really clever, that is. How long have you been doing that?
About 20 years. The hallmark tells you the date it was made, who it was made by, and where it was assayed. So that's really important. Great little piece, and at some point it's been very precious to somebody. We're just cracking on with it. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of books, which are heavy. Normally I just leave the lads to load the van, but I'm doing it myself, and I'm already covered in muck, so I'll be in trouble at home when I get home. Another shirt in the wash.
Okay.
Just a huge mountain that we've got to slowly whittle down to a little hill. We just didn't realise how much gumph he had stored away and just thought, oh my gosh, what are we in for?
The team have been hard at work and the clearance is finally complete. It is time to show Pippa her parents' home.
Wow! I have never, ever seen it so empty.
Yeah, it's a bit different now, isn't it?
Just a little. A weight gone, and we can move on to the next step. Seeing it all wrapped up, I have a feeling that he will be proud of me to have got it sorted out.
Hopefully we should
Yes.
have a few good results for you.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Right, we'll see you at the auction. Thank you.
Big hug.
It's a late finish, it's been a long day, there's a lot of stuff to do and there's a lot more work to do when we get back to the sale room. I think they're very happy, they've got an empty house, so hopefully we'll have some good results for them.
While Angus, Andy and Pete make their way back from Pippa's house clearance near Newcastle, the team at Kirby Moorside are getting ready for the vans to arrive. Sale room manager, Jeremy, who has a discerning eye for art and collectibles, is on standby.
I hear Andy and Pete are bringing in quite a good collection of pictures from Newcastle, even further north than we are here in Yorkshire, and I'm really looking forward to seeing those. It's a genre that I like as well, and I think a lot of people like these sort of things more and more. They're becoming increasingly popular at auction.
The auction is just a few days away, and it's all hands on deck to get sorting. For Andy, the paintings bring back memories of his childhood in Newcastle.
Westbourne Avenue. I used to live there, you know.
Where? Westbourne Avenue?
Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts?
Well, hold that a minute. You've got the park there,
Right.
so it would have been one of these. Seriously.
Our house in
That's
the middle of
crazy.
our street.
Yeah.
While Andy and Pete unpack the van, Angus and Jeremy are cataloguing the paintings ready for the sale.
Nice collection, nice to have them all together though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they look fabulous, don't they?
Yeah, they do. You're probably wondering why there's so many for one artist, although you do get people that collect certain artists. Pippa, this was her uncle.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
right,
Charles
right,
Henry
right,
Rogers
right.
was her uncle.
He does have, a reasonable auction track record.
Yeah.
He's a good, he's a very, very good artist and deserves it, doesn't he?
The other items from Pippa's house are also being prepared to be listed for sale, and Angus's mum, Caroline, is helping out.
That's attractive, yeah, very attractive.
These little swan handles, look.
Oh, they are, yes. No, nice silver, and there's good weight to it. In fact, there's very good weight to that. But of course, what do you use it for today, really, other than posy of flowers is about its use?
Mulled wine or something at Christmas.
Well, yes. And what's this? Is this from the Artie family as well?
Something I made.
No, you could make it that grotesque.
No, yeah, that's out of their house. I thought it was great, but Pippa was always scared of it. They don't like it.
It's a bit of a horror film movie type thing. Oh my goodness! Can't even lift it. Gosh.
It's different. It's quirky.
Well, you've got an awful lot of stuff in. You look absolutely.
Well, we're busy. We're busy.
Busy, busy, busy.
While sorting through the boxes from Pippa's parents' home, auction house staff Mark and Emma have found an album of photographs from the First World War.
That's really cool.
Interesting stuff.
Constantinople. Gallipoli, my God. Oh, you need to get this, Mark.
I mean, this is history. The World War I album, absolutely fantastic, a brilliant find. People love this history, particularly from the First World War. It's going to sell really well.
It's auction day, and with over 400 lots of items, including antique furniture and modern art up for sale, Angus is hoping for a lively auction.
I think Pippa and Rebecca will have a reasonable day today, actually. They've got quite a bit of stuff in, and there's a real mixture. There's some low-value stuff, and there's one or two interesting bits that could just run on. The piano, I mean, pianos, it'll either make nothing or it'll sell really well because it's a Bechstein, so fingers crossed on that. We have had a bit of interest in it, so hopefully we get that away, but I think they should have a fairly good day.
It's always a bargain to be had here. I say it's wonderful just seeing some amazing antiques and all sorts of some weird and wonderful things that come through here. That was the very reason I came here to check it out and see what kind of condition it is and see if we could maybe get it at a good price and take it back home and sort of do it up a bit.
I'm feeling a little nervous today, but I've never been to an auction before, but I'm looking forward to it.
The auction is just minutes away. Joining Angus at the rostrum are auction clerks Emma and Heather, who will track the online bids, while Jeremy is ready to hear from bidders calling on the phone.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, we get underway. Lot number 1 then, there we go. The lot you've all been waiting for. We can deliver. Well, the lads can, I won't. With the monk's bench there, the flip top there we go. 35, 38, 40 with me, £40 bid, 40 with me. Now, gavel is up, 55, thank you. 55, 60, £60 it is. At £60, at 60, we're getting there. At 60 it is, 5 surely now. At 60, gavel is up, don't mistake it, at £60.
Not too bad.
No.
The modern oak case 8-day chiming long case clock. 60, 75, 80 with me, 80 with me, £80, 100 would be nice, wouldn't it? 100, 110. At 110 it is, thank you, at 110. At 110. No, just moving his catalogue, I got excited. At 110 it is, 120, thank you. At 120, at 120, selling at 120.
Not too bad for a reproduction.
No.
Next is the vase that haunted Pippa's childhood.
There's stuff.
Right, this is, we need to lift this up. Look at that. £10 for it then. It's
What hid in the cupboard at Christmas?
£10.
£10 bid, thank you. £10 at 10 it is. 12 online at £12 at 12. 15 surely. 15, £15. 15, I'm bid at £15 at 15. I'm selling at £15. The vase, really, really quirky, and people love quirky. It's different, and different things sell.
Next up, the silver loving cup.
There we go, the loving cup with the swan handles there. There we go, 120 at £120 it is then. Selling at 130. 514, thank you. Right, we go on to this little run of pictures. We start with the first one. Where should we be for this one? £40 start me. We're all done at 40. 55, 60. At 65 it is 70, 75, £75. I'm selling at 75. This is a good one. The Study of Christ Church, got £40 bid. 40 for the oil at 40. Selling at £45. The painting's by Pippa's uncle, well-known northern artist, and that's becoming really popular and really collectible. This is a bit different, the Spanish folding table, very rustic with the Spanish bull on it there. £20 start me at 22, 22, bit of competition now, 22, 25 now. All done at £25. Gonna put my foot down now. Very, very interesting lot this, the album containing post-World War I photographs, 200. £200 it is, then at 200. At £200 it is, then at 200. Back in at 210 it is, then at 210. Selling at 210.
To throw away something that's just sold for £210, it's like, what?
Finally, it's Pippa's childhood piano.
We are flying. 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 220, 230, 240, 250. It is a Bechstein. 260, 260.
1895.
At 260, at £260 it is.
Wow.
Very good considering they said it wasn't worth anything.
The gavel's down and the sale is over. It's time to tally up the total.
How was that for you?
Very exciting.
We have found a few lovers of the Northern art down here. So.
Thank goodness.
So you're going to walk away today with £1,046 and 64 pence.
Excellent. That's more than I thought.
Big weight off our shoulders.
Yes.
Been.
Look at this smile.
But Before Pippa can head back home, which lucky bidder won her childhood piano?
Excellent. Thank you very much. I have never ever heard that piano played like that. Ever.
Oh, thank you very much.
It probably hasn't been played for at least 40, maybe 50 years.
Goodness me. Oh, I imagine it's got some wonderful stories to tell then.
Yes, I hope you enjoy it for many, many years.
Thank you very
and
much.
I'm glad it has gone to someone who will love it.
I certainly will. But no, I'm absolutely over the moon to have got it.
Good.
So thank you very much indeed.
It's the start of another busy week at the auction house.
Hello, Auction House. Yep, and we have a number of specialist sales coming up. I can send you over some details if you would like.
Angus needs his team of Andy and Pete to clear a house that is chock full of collectibles.
Hold it there, lads.
Hold it.
We've got a job to go and do. It's quite a big collection to clear, and there'll be lots of smalls to pack up, so we best get going.
All right.
Right, go on then.
Angus, Andy and Pete are headed to a house clearance just outside of Leeds. And this time, it's Pete's turn for a trip down memory lane.
Yeah, we're going to east side of Leeds, Pete, just the York side of Leeds.
Yeah.
It's about where you grew up, isn't it?
Yeah. I used to do a milk round around that area as well, one of my first jobs.
So we're going to meet Christine. It was all her husband's items, Keith. Right. Sadly, he's passed away now, but apparently there's a lot of train and plane and truck items. There might be a fair bit of stuff to shift. It'll be small stuff, but it might be a lot of magazines. And, you know, it's transport stuff's fairly popular.
Yeah. Yeah, there's bound to be some good stuff.
In Winmore, outside Leeds, help is on hand for Christine and her son Barry as they look to clear the niche collection that has taken over their family home.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you all right?
Yes, nice
Good.
to see you.
So, you've got some bits to show me?
I certainly have.
Should we go have a look?
Shall we?
Yeah, thank you.
Right, welcome to our house. This is the trains, planes and truck house. Stuff is everywhere. When Keith were here, it didn't seem to matter, but now he's not here, you think, when did all that happen? You can tell that he had a good life with everything that's upstairs.
Well, we best go have a look at the items then.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Gathered over a lifetime, Keith's transport collection has filled all the nooks and crannies in the house.
This is what I'd like you to have a look at.
Yeah.
It's a bit too scary.
No.
No, not overpowering or out like that. I mean, I haven't a clue what's in there.
It's a small cupboard, but it's a full cupboard.
Oh, it's full.
Oh, it's full.
Yeah.
At the bedroom, we've got 3 wardrobes, 11 chest of drawers, and every one of them is full. I possess half a wardrobe, a dressing table, and 3 drawers, and that's mine. Keith said to me, oh, when you're going to town, can you just bob into W.H. Smith's and get me magazine? But he wanted 2. So I says, 2, why do you want 2? So he says, well, I'll look at one and want to keep the best. Little did I know, 50 years later, that there's more than 2 of some stuff. It were trains, planes, trucks.
Anything mechanical, wasn't
yeah,
it?
I just love all, yeah. I should have known he were into military stuff. It were D-Day, 6th of June when we got married. So that were it. I should have known then. It would have been his 50th wedding anniversary in June, if he'd have been kind enough to stop with us, but obviously.
After months of battling ill health, Keith sadly passed away in 2019.
He's not a bad bone, had he? And he'd do anything for anybody. I mean, even when at his funeral once, there were over 100 people came to his funeral. It still seems a bit surreal that Keith's not here. Somebody probably thinks, God, well, a year, you know, it's only a year since, and you're getting rid of his stuff. But like I say, it's necessity, isn't it? I've got to do it.
Time to move some of the stuff on and give it to somebody who's going to appreciate it and look after it like my dad did.
They're still in cellophane. They've never even been out of cellophane.
I'm guessing he was a big Vulcan fan.
He was a big Vulcan fan, yeah.
So the bits that we're really looking at is the cupboard,
the cupboard,
the wardrobe,
all that,
and all the bits on the floor.
all that stuff there.
So I suppose I best have a look through.
You have a look.
And then we'll see what we can do for you.
Right, thank you very much.
I mean, there really is, you know, Keith's life in this cupboard. And I mean, there's a lot of enthusiasts out there that will love this and really appreciate it. And we don't know what we're going to find at the back. Absolutely stacks and stacks of magazines and videos, DVDs. We've even got bottles of Vulcan bomber beer. I mean, there isn't an inch of space in this cupboard. The Vulcan bomber, built in the 1950s, absolutely iconic British aircraft. Keith was a big fan of it, and I think his collection is going to sell really well. You know, there's a few models and toys as well, which are very collectible. You know, we've got some model aircraft, and we've got remote control toys, you know, all very collectible. This big American truck, there we go, all there in its box. I mean, somebody would have had hours of fun on it there. You know, good quality metal construction. It's not plastic, it's all metal. So, again, good piece that would sell on its own. When we go in and we're clearing a room or a house, you've got to remember it's somebody's life. And all those items, even if they don't necessarily have a high monetary value, they quite often have a high sentimental value. And you've got to be conscious of that when you're dealing with people's things. But I think we need to get it all out into the van, and then we can see what we're doing.
It's going to be a three-man job. Time to bring in Andy and Pete.
You're right, lads. It's like coming home for you, this, Pete, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Grew up just down the road.
I know.
There's no furniture, but lots of boxes and a big cupboard to clear.
Right, so.
Brilliant, yeah, but I'll show you.
At the moment, we're just trying to sort out as best we can between planes, trucks, and trains. Different boxes and bringing them down, because it's going to be a big sort out, I think.
West Highlands of Scotland, train journeys. Yeah, I think there will be a market for it.
VHS, particularly, and DVDs. It feels like old technology, and why would anybody want them? But for certain subjects, they still sell very well. The work really starts when we get back to the sale room. I mean, a lot of it will be in quite big lots, big box lots, because as lovely as it is, and it's an archive of someone's life, you know, magazines they do very, very little. So unfortunately we will have to sell them in sort of big group lots. But, you know, I think that the key thing to remember here is, you know, Christine wants it to go to other enthusiasts. It's not necessarily about the money aspect for her, or raising money. It's about it being appreciated by somebody.
What do you back it like that for?
Oh my God.
Just take that spider out, will you?
I'm not going near a spider.
I can't stand them. I don't mind money spiders, but ones like that, no.
Seriously?
You seen the size of this one, Pete?
Oh, it's in the box, though.
Hairy monsters. Might have to empty that. Might be an Andy lift, that one, Andy. Sometimes you don't want to upset the lads by showing them up a little bit, so you could have let them. Obviously, I could carry it, but yeah, you know, you don't want to pinch their job really. I like to help, but
of course you do. There you go.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks.
All right.
I mean, there's all cameras and films, and there's thousands of films is written on that. It's a calendar.
Yeah.
But there's also Vulcan prints inside the calendar.
There's some good hardback railway and aircraft books that are going to sell okay. There's quite a few boxed models and they're still on their spurs, the plastic spurs, so they'll be okay. So there's a few good bits in among it.
It's a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
You could open a newsagents with all these magazines.
Yeah.
4 hours in, the team have nearly finished the clearance. For the first time in 50 years, all of Keith's collection is laid out in one place.
Flipping. This is all this come out of that cupboard.
Some items are new, even to Christine.
Where have they got box jaws from? Didn't realise we had all that. Whole kit. Never made.
Like a TARDIS.
Yeah, it is. Good grief.
I think my dad would be amazed at how much stuff there as well.
I don't think he'd realise.
No.
If he were here, he'd be taking it all back in.
Christine's been an absolute, trooper, and they've got. You can tell there's a real close family connection, and there's still a real close connection with Keith, even though he's passed on. They're finally sort of letting go part of his 40 years of his life. So it's been a tough process, but one that I think they felt they've had to do.
With the last of the boxes being loaded into the van, what will Christine make of her newly cleared home?
When was the last time you saw the back of this cupboard?
Never. Must be at least 40 years ago. Put a bed in here. Oh my God. Don't be looking in there too often.
So what are you going to do with all that space now?
Well, I think I'm going to have to start collecting something. I just can't put it into words how much this means. I honestly can't, because there's a lot of memories in there. Good memories, happy memories, and you've brought them all back to life today. And I know now that you're going to sort it all out and give it to somebody else that's going to look after it, like Keith looked after it.
Back in Kirby Moorside, the team at the auction house are preparing for the van unload. And outdoor sales manager Mark is leading the charge.
When the lads turn up after they've done a clearance, depending on what's on the van is where it's going to go. If it was some small antiques, it'd be straight into goods in. Some bigger furniture would come into the main sorting shed here. Then from there, they'll be sorted out into individual lots. Whatever it is, we'll put them together in how we think they'll probably sell best.
The van is back from Leeds, carrying the large collection of transport memorabilia from Christine's home. It's hard work, but it doesn't stop Pete and Andy from feeling a bit nostalgic.
Right. Yep. Did you do any of them?
I used to do them all the time, yeah.
Did you get to the painting stage?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I used to put them together. The painting's just too much hard work. Right, we're ready then. Make sure that don't break. You be careful. All right, okay, boss.
The extensive collection has many small items, and everyone needs to roll their sleeves up to sort it.
You've got to make sure you don't miss anything of value, and that's our job, and we go through everything, every box. There's a lot of people involved in this process that sort through all the boxes and items to make sure we don't miss anything.
Keith's valuable collection has everything a transport fan would love. Books, prints, souvenirs, DVDs, models, and even rare toys.
Model engine, that's a nice little thing, that. So that'll go well in the next
that'll go in the toy sale, won't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone at the auction house has their own speciality, and Mark has something to show fellow military enthusiast and sale room photographer Neil.
Aha! Hold on, wait there. Right, what was the name of the pilot, you told me this morning, that flew the Vulcan bomber?
Martin Withers. You got Martin Withers signed print.
Look at that.
Lovely, look at that. Unlimited edition print as well, fantastic. That's going to make the boss man a happy fella.
Yeah, that'll do well at the next sale.
That'd be brilliant, fabulous. Might have a go for that myself.
Don't blame you.
No.
A limited edition print signed by the pilot is a rare find. And now he needs one last person to see it. Angus and account manager Claire are sorting through the larger items of the clearance.
We'll have to have a look at some of those prints.
This particular print was of the...
there's another Vulcan bomber from the Falklands.
Why
Very
has it got
famous.
2 signatures?
We'll say that'll be the artist.
Right.
Keith Aspinall. Martin Withers. So he was the pilot. The famous story about this is limited edition print. There's only 300 of them done. It's number 14. It's the longest recorded bombing mission at that time. They literally did it on fumes, didn't they?
Yeah.
They thought they'd actually have to
Yeah.
eject and lose the aircraft because they had that little fuel. Yeah, interesting. But I mean, the fact that it's signed by the pilot will actually make that quite saleable. The Vulcan bomber print. I mean, this is quite special. Arguably, probably one of the most famous RAF actions since the Second World War. So to have it signed by the pilot is really quite special. And it's a limited edition. There's not many of these about. So there's going to be a lot of collectors for this.
It's auction day, and with over 400 lots up for sale, the auction has grabbed the attention of transport enthusiasts all around the country.
You know, we've had 1 or 2 people in. There was a chap the other day viewing, and he I think he'll go on one of the Vulcan pictures. His dad was a pilot in a Vulcan bomber. So, you know, there's little things like that. I think we'll even get some of the magazines away, which really is quite a result because they're normally very tricky.
We'll go in and see what they've got.
Christine and Barry are here today, along with Christine's grandson, Gabe.
I'm actually shocked to see how much there is.
It's all them model planes that he's got and never made. You know, and the books that he's got and look like they've never been read. I don't think I'd believe it if I hadn't seen it now.
Remember getting him that. And I bought that without him knowing.
She's been all right as a grammar, hasn't she?
Yeah.
She's, yeah. I think it was a bit of an awkward decision for her to make to do this, but she wants it to go to somebody
Yeah.
that wants it for a reason and they'll look after it.
Angus's auction team, Heather and Emma, will be keeping an eye on the online bids.
Anybody from Lancashire in here? Get out.
As the auction goes live, Keith's extensive collection will attract competitive bids from people in the room, by phone, and through 2 online platforms from customers around the world.
Huge collection of transport-related items, magazines, etc. 20 bids straight in, thank you. £20 a bid at 20. At £20 at 22, anywhere 22, 25, 28, 30. £30 it is now at 30. Any advance 32, 55, £58 it is. We're on track, aren't we? I'm going to see how many railway puns I can get in at £55.
Not a bad start.
Large collection of 1980s, 90s magazines. There's a lot of magazines. I know, because I carried them all. There we go.
Beg your pardon.
And I've got two bids of 20. £20 straight in on the book. Any advance now? Surely. 22. Thank you. £22. Normally, we don't like selling magazines. They don't sell very well. But we managed to tie into a few collectors that have picked up on it. So I think actually we did quite well on these.
Next up, the airplane model kits, the most watched items at the auction.
Bids everywhere, 50, 55, 55, 55, 60, 65, 65, 70, 75. 75 it is then at 75. We're all done at £75.
People are paying that money for them, they're not just going to be thrown into a corner.
No, that's the thing. Someone is going to look after them, aren't they?
The transport DVDs are up next.
110 for the DVDs, 110, 120, 130, 140. There's a battle on for these, 160. I'm going to sell at £160.
Totally flabbergasted, honestly.
Next is a selection of Vulcan bomber memorabilia.
Bit of all sorts in there. 55, thank you. 55 it is, 60. At 60, we're all done at 60.
Oh, God.
I can't believe we got that much for them pin badges.
It's a nice, interesting lot. There we go, there's all sorts in there relating to commercial vehicles there. 80, 5, 90, 5, 100, 110. Thank you, gentlemen, at 110. Nice to have the room bidding against each other. 140 in the room, thank you, sir. 160, 170, just in time. Selling at 200. Thank you very much.
It's all stuff people want.
There we go. It's going all right, isn't it?
Let's just
There we go, lot number
get me
60.
draw.
We go on to the first.
Next up, Mark's find, the rare signed print.
We go straight in at £30. £30, 42, 5. At £50, at 55, 65, 70. 75, you win. 80. £80 it is. Darling then, at £80. Thank you. We had a few good results, didn't we?
We did seem to do. It was a bit surreal, to be honest. You knew it was happening, but you're thinking, is that my lots that they're talking about? Can't be.
Well, we had quite a few enthusiasts, and I think that was the key, wasn't it, for you? It wasn't really about the money, it was about going to other people that appreciated it.
Somebody that's wanted it.
Would you like to know what the sale total was?
I would, that'd be very interesting.
After our fees, you're going to take home £1,209.
£1,000. That was, honestly, thank you.
It's needed somebody to give it a good home again, and it's nice to know that it's going to be going all over the country to people that want it.
It all sold. So
Everything?
Everything.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
That's a bonus. So I don't have anything to take home?
Well, you do. Because when we
right.
were sorting through it, we found Keith's old driving licence. So I thought you might want that back.
Thank you.
It's okay. We always try, if we ever find anything personal, we try and...
yeah, thanks.
'cause it's easy for things to get lost, isn't it?
There's RAF thing as well.
I think Christine was absolutely delighted. I think she was really quite shocked, and you could really tell, I mean, she got quite emotional at the end, and this was her husband's life, so for her, it was always about the journey and them being appreciated and bought by somebody that would appreciate them, and they clearly did.
Can I have one from Gabe as well? Thanks. You've been a really big help. Fantastic. It's been a really good experience. It's been lovely. I was dreading it, but it's made it very, very easy.
And to get that final amount,
oh, good grief,
just tops it off.
A few months after clearing her father's house near Newcastle, Pippa is starting a new chapter.
It was absolutely fantastic to have Angus and his team come to clear my father's house. And after it was all completely cleared, I was able to get it up on the market, and I may have found a buyer. As soon as some of the items were being removed from the house, I already began to feel that the house was letting go, and I was letting go of the house. My dad always paid for a cruise holiday for myself and my daughter, so any monies raised from the auction will go towards that, and we're looking forward to our next one.